I was just stepping out for a snack. Just a normal guy on a wet Tuesday night, craving chocolate milk and beef jerky. The sky was pouring like it had a grudge, and of course, I forgot my umbrella. Classic. That's when I saw her. Curled up by a dumpster behind the gas station, glowing faint blue, soaked to the bone if she even had bones. She was trembling, shivering, making this sound. Like a cross between a purr and a moan. It was honestly kinda hot, not that I was trying to think that. I asked if she was okay, but she just looked up at me with these big silver eyes and whispered, "My heat has activated." Now, I'm not an idiot, but I'm also a single dude who watches late-night interspecies documentaries on occasion. So yeah, I had some ideas. She was breathing hard, skin glistening, legs twitching. I was 99% sure I was either about to get arrested or invited to the weirdest first date of my life. She tried to stand but collapsed into me, pressing against my chest like I was a body pillow. Her temperature? Ridiculously high. I could feel the heat radiating through my soaked hoodie. "I require immediate thermal release," she said. "Moisture levels critical. Internal pressure escalating." I blinked. Do you need a towel? Soup?" She blinked back, confused. "No. I need you to align with me. Rapidly. Please. Before the saturation spreads." I mean, what the hell do you even say to that? I helped her up, her skin was slippery and humming, and led her toward my place 2 blocks down. The rain wasn't letting up, and her glow was getting brighter with each step. People stared. I pretended it was cosplay. She clung to my arm like she was afraid she'd melt without contact. I asked her name. She said something that sounded like static in a blender, then said I could call her Zara. Zara, of the Third Pulse, she corrected. No idea what that meant, but she said it like it came with a title. We got inside. She immediately dropped her wet cloak and stood in the middle of my living room wearing nothing but some kind of shimmering bodysuit that left nothing to the imagination. I offered her a towel. She sniffed it and dropped it like it offended her entire species. "I must begin the ritual," she said. I nodded like I totally knew what that meant. Cool. Ritual. Awesome. Do you need music? Lights? Netflix? She shook her head. No distractions. I must stabilize. My core will rupture without relief. There was a long silence. Do you want to sit down? I must stay elevated, she said, then hovered 3 inches off the floor. Because of course she could float. She closed her eyes, and her body started pulsing gently, light rolling across her skin like ripples. Her breathing got heavier. Then she opened her eyes and said, "You are compatible. Your biological field syncs with mine. You must assist." I coughed. Define assist. She glided over, placed a hand on my chest, and whispered, "Your touch will trigger the discharge. Please, make contact. Now listen. I have boundaries. But when a beautiful alien woman is literally begging for physical contact or she'll explode, you kind of forget to ask follow-up questions. So I touched her shoulder. She gasped. Her glow flared. My hand tingled. Yes, she moaned. That's it. Friction. Pressure. Steady flow. Continue. I immediately panicked. Wait, are we doing something here? Like, do I need protection? Is there a galactic consent form? She just stared. You've initiated the pulse. Now we must complete the circuit. My heat is rising. I've never been so turned on and confused in my life. She guided my hands first to her back, then her lower spine, then a glowing point just above her tailbone. Press here. Gently. Then apply rotational motion. Rotational motion. I said a silent prayer to whoever handles first contact disasters and started doing little circles with my thumb. She groaned loud. Somewhere between pleasure and pain. My glands are responding. Oh my god. I feel the build-up. My nodes are dilating. Increase intensity. At this point, I was sweating. Not from effort. From fear. And also because she was heating up like a microwave burrito. My living room was starting to smell like ozone and jasmine. Then she collapsed into my arms again, breathing hard. Stabilization, incomplete. You must not stop. I wanted to be respectful. I really did. But her words weren't helping. Listen, I think you're really cool, and I'm flattered, but I'm pretty sure this is illegal on at least 3 planets. She looked up, dazed. You're resisting synchronization? But your field is so potent. I didn't know what that meant, but it made something twitch. She placed both hands on my temples and said, I will show you what I need. Suddenly, visions, bright flashes of some strange dance, full body movement, synchronized breathing, glowing symbols, and, oddly, pelvic thrusts. It was like yoga and mating and alien exorcism all rolled into one. She pulled back. Now do you understand? I swallowed hard. Yeah. I mean, not really. But I think I get the general thrust. She smiled. Then begin. My heat cycle is at peak saturation. You must help me discharge, or I will rupture internally. I grabbed a bottle of water, drank half of it, and muttered, well, I guess this is happening. Because when a glowing alien girl is panting in your living room, whispering about glands and discharge and begging for help with her heat, you don't walk away. You start the ritual. And pray your neighbors aren't watching through the window. I wasn't sure if I was about to save a life or sign up for an intergalactic OnlyFans. She hovered in the middle of my living room, eyes glowing, skin pulsing in waves like a sentient lava lamp. I had no idea if she was about to explode or climax, or both. Maybe that was the same thing for her species. She floated closer and said, we must begin docking. I blinked, instantly regretting every sci-fi subreddit I'd ever visited. Docking? I asked, very carefully. Yes, she said with a completely straight face. Our energy cores must meet. Skin to skin. Synchronized movement. Sustained contact. I cleared my throat. So, like dancing? She paused. With friction. Of course. She took my hands and pressed them against her back, just below her shoulder blades. Her body was so warm, I half expected my palms to leave scorch marks. You're unusually conductive, she whispered. That's good. Very good. Then she turned around, placed my hand over her hip, and muttered, initiate base rotation. Base rotation, I repeated. Right. I started slow, awkward circular movements like I was tuning a space radio. She groaned. Yes, maintain the rhythm. Faster. This had to be a prank. I was on a show. Somewhere, aliens were watching me grope a glowing woman and betting on when I'd pass out. You are highly compatible, she said breathlessly. I feel the bond forming. My membranes are stabilizing. I didn't know what to say to that, so I just nodded like I'd done this before. She leaned into me, pressing her cheek to mine, breath hot against my ear. Soon we'll reach climax convergence. I will reach core cooldown, and you'll be remembered. Remembered? Like a one-night stand or a galactic hero? She didn't say. My people have studied your mating techniques, she added casually. The ancient scrolls mention positions. I coughed. Scrolls? Yes. Especially the Earth texts titled Kama Sutra and Gym Workout Fail Compilation 304. We believe those contain critical postures. Now I was really confused. You think gym fail videos are mating rituals? She nodded sincerely. So much grunting. Sweating. And collapse. I stared into her glowing eyes. You're serious. Extremely, she said, lips nearly brushing mine. Now apply internal pressure. I froze. Internal pressure where? Here, she guided my finger to a warm pulse on her side. And here. Her other hand slid mine lower, just above her hip joint. Then thrust gently with rhythmic intervals. This was insane. But also, I was already doing it. So I leaned into the chaos. Rhythmic pressure. Timed movement. It felt less like romance and more like an aggressive sci-fi CPR course. She gasped again. My heat is peaking. Pressure's reaching limit. If we don't release soon. I know, rupture, I interrupted, sweating. You've mentioned that. She nodded. Then synchronize with me. She began chanting in a language that sounded like bubble wrap popping mixed with opera. Her body glowed brighter. Suddenly, a soft chime rang from her wrist. Bonding threshold passed. Initial imprint detected, a robotic voice said. Soul link in progress. Congratulations, Zara of the third pulse. Partner identified, Earth male. Code name. Snack Seeker. I stared at her. Snack Seeker? You were on a food acquisition journey when we met. It's how the imprint registers your status. I groaned. Please don't let that be permanent. She smiled. It is. Great. First contact and I'm already somebody's intergalactic husband/snack. She looked confused. Is this not acceptable? I was about to answer when a holographic screen popped up, displaying something that looked like an alien marriage certificate. It had my face, mid-confused expression, and hers, glowing like she just finished a spa day. We must complete the final phase, she said urgently. The soul link is only sealed when my thermal vents fully release. Do they at least have air conditioning where you're from? No, she said. Only partners. I sighed, and followed her movements again, faster now, hands trailing where she directed. Her reactions were loud, intense, dramatic. You'd think I was performing sacred acts. Really, I was just trying not to cramp up. I feel the convergence coming, she gasped. Yeah, me too, I muttered. Pretty sure my spine's about to converge with my butt. Suddenly, she arched, eyes glowing white, and let out a long, vibrating exhale that sounded way too explicit for something supposedly non-sexual. Then silence. She floated gently down to the floor, shimmering softly like a satisfied toaster. I've cooled, she whispered, voice calm again. The process was successful. I dropped to the couch, legs shaking. Good. That makes one of us. She smiled. You are gifted. No, I said. I'm just a guy with a thumb and a lot of questions. She blinked. Would you consider assisting my sister? I nearly fell off the couch. Excuse me? She enters heat soon. I informed her of your conductivity and finger technique. She was impressed. I buried my face in my hands. This is how the invasion starts, isn't it? No invasion, she said sweetly. Only bonding. Then the hologram pinged again. Notice, it said, unregistered interspecies docking detected. Local galactic law may apply. Fines and imprisonment pending. I looked up at her. Did you just get me arrested with space sex yoga? She blinked. You said yes. No, I said, standing. I said yeah in the panicked tone of a man about to explode from second-hand arousal and cosmic confusion. She tilted her head. So, we're not mates? I opened my mouth. Closed it. Reopened it. Honestly? I don't even know anymore. She smiled. Then we must proceed to the verification chamber. I groaned. Let me guess. That involves more synchronized poking? She nodded. And possibly sound. Of course it did. I woke up to 3 holographic marriage notices in my inbox, a vibrating alien girl on my couch, and an alert that said, warning, unauthorized bonding detected. Not the morning I planned when I went out for chocolate milk. She was already standing, stretching like a cat made of light. You stabilized my heat, she said sweetly, but the bonding isn't legally recognized without mutual acknowledgement of commitment phrases. I rubbed my temples. You mean, vows? Yes. Repeat after me, she said, lifting a glowing finger. With this pulse, I align. With this friction, I bind. With this warmth, I surrender. I stared at her. Do I at least get a honeymoon before I surrender anything? She looked confused. You already honeymooned. Last night. On the couch. With synchronized pulses. That wasn't a honeymoon, I muttered. That was a sci-fi workout routine that nearly fried my fingers. She beamed. You're funny. No wonder humans are considered elite mating companions. I choked on my cereal. Elite what? Her eyes sparkled. Your reputation has spread across 3 sectors. The way you resist bonding, deny intent, and still complete the ritual, it's legendary. Oh good, I said. I'm now famous for accidentally mating someone while trying to offer them soup. She floated over, her glow pulsing in a slow rhythm. Your resistance made the bond stronger. Most males beg to help with heat. You hesitated. That's powerful. No, that's anxiety, I snapped. Big difference. Before she could respond, my walls flickered with a red light. A loud ping echoed, and a voice said, Intergalactic Authority incoming. Subject, unauthorized thermal convergence. Status, bonded without license. She tensed. They found us. Wait, us? I said. I'm just a guy. You're the one who moaned your way through my living room like a busted humidifier. I told you, she said, grabbing my arm, heat regulation without council clearance is considered risky. Some planets ban it. So what happens now? I asked. Space prison? Do they take your glow stick and my blender as evidence? She was already dragging me toward the door. We must flee to a neutral zone. My pod is cloaked nearby. I stopped. Your what is where? She turned. Did you think I wandered in from a bus stop? I'm on a mission. Mission? I asked. What kind of mission starts with stripping in a stranger's apartment and ends with illegal bonding? She paused. Diplomatic surveillance. I was assigned to observe Earth's emotional regulation methods. You performed one last night. That wasn't emotional regulation, I said. That was pure panic and hand cramps. To us, she said seriously, that is intimacy. Before I could unpack that, the alert chimed again. Tracking activated. Penalties include sterilization, legal binding, or forced couple counseling. My jaw dropped. Did that thing just say forced counseling? Zara looked away. It's not so bad. One of my sisters was sentenced to 8 sessions after merging with a human named Chad. They now co-own a juice bar on Mars. I stared. How many of you are doing this? She gave a shy smile. Earth's reputation travels fast. My phone buzzed. A new notification appeared, congratulations. You are now registered as Mate Class Tier Beta. Benefits include universal translator upgrades, shared galactic health coverage, and emotional responsibility clauses. Emotional what now? I muttered, scrolling through the fine print. Clause 7, in the event of emotional neglect, partner may seek satisfaction from bonded tier alternatives within a 500-mile radius. I looked up. Are you telling me I'm in an open relationship I didn't agree to? Not open, she said. Adaptive. It promotes honesty. I don't even share fries, I muttered. Why would I share interstellar bonding rights? She grabbed both my hands. Then we escape. Together. To where? I asked. I don't have a passport, let alone a galactic ID. You don't need one, she said. We're soulbound. Your DNA's already uploaded. I froze. What do you mean my DNA's uploaded? During the friction sequence, she explained calmly. Your cells entered my thermal membrane. The system autologged you as a contributor. I slowly backed away. Contributor to what? Our future offspring, she said brightly. My soul left my body. Zara, I said very slowly, we didn't even nothing went inside anything. To humans, she said, but for my species, skin pressure and synchronized breathing under heat count is complete transfer. And you didn't think to mention this before I started doing thumb circles on your lumbar vents? You didn't ask. I looked around for cameras. There had to be a hidden feed. I was either the star of the weirdest alien reality show or about to be crowned king of a glowing blue family. I'm not a father, I said. I barely remember to feed myself. She smiled warmly. You'll learn. Then another alert. Subject identified. Enforcement squad dispatched. Estimated arrival, 2 minutes. Prepare for bonding review. Bonding review? Is that like an audit? Worse, she whispered. They make you reenact the ritual. In front of council representatives. I dropped to my knees. I just wanted beef jerky. She touched my shoulder. You'll be fine. We'll escape. We'll stabilize your emissions and hide your signature. Are you even hearing yourself? A pause. I am. And I'm proud of how well you handled my pressure points. That's not a compliment. That's emotional blackmail. Also bonding, she added. I stared up at the ceiling. If anyone's watching this, send help. Or coffee. Or both. My couch lit up with a portal shimmer. We had 30 seconds, tops. I hope you know, I said as we jumped through the light, if this ends with me as a space stepdad, I'm writing a very angry blog post. She grinned. You'll be famous. I muttered, I already am. Snack seeker, tier beta. Glorious. And with that, we vanished. We came out of the portal coughing, covered in glittery dust, and probably a few violations of interstellar hygiene protocol. I didn't even ask where we were. I was too busy trying to catch my breath and wondering if I was still legally single. Zara seemed fine. No surprise there. She looked refreshed, radiant, and absolutely too pleased with herself. Neutral zone, she said calmly. No trackers. No enforcers. Just isolated thermal chambers and bonding lodges. I was immediately suspicious. Bonding lodges? She nodded. 4 pairs escaping enforcement. You bond in peace, then file retroactive consent. I squinted at her. So let me get this straight. We hide in a love cabin, fake another ritual, and tell the galaxy it was all on purpose? Not fake, she corrected. Just, optimized. Zara, I groaned, I don't optimize under pressure. I panic in order takeout. That's what makes you authentic, she said proudly. Other species rehearse for weeks. You improvise. I sat down, staring at the glowing walls. Is this my life now? Running through portals with a glowing woman who thinks Netflix is a sacred bonding tool and considers finger pressure a proposal? Yes, she said without hesitation. And you're very good at it. I wasn't sure if I was flattered or exhausted. A soft chime echoed. A voice said, Welcome to Chamber 9. Please select a bonding routine. Options include deep heat, full merge, tantric float, or human comfort simulation. My eye twitched. Human comfort simulation? What's that? She tilted her head. Pillows. Hoodies. Verbal reassurance. Popcorn. I raised my hand. Yes. That one. Forever. She sighed but selected it. Suddenly, a couch appeared, soft ambient lights dimmed, and a tray of snacks materialized. I didn't even question it. I grabbed a bag of chips and chewed like I was claiming territory. Zara sat beside me, still glowing but calm now. Thank you, she said quietly. Most would have run. You stayed. I tried to run, I said with a full mouth. You tackled me into a portal. You could have resisted. I did. You mistook resistance for romantic tension. Same thing, she said. We sat in silence for a moment, crunching chips and watching some holographic fire flicker. Then she looked at me. You know. I meant it. Meant what? That you stabilized me. Not just thermally. Emotionally. I blinked. Zara. You barely know me. I eat cereal from measuring cups and own one towel. She smiled. Exactly. You're honest. Imperfect. Reluctant. You didn't perform. You reacted. That's not intimacy, I said. That's trauma. For my species, she replied, trauma bonding is still bonding. I sighed, then laughed, because what else could I do? Then her wrist glowed again. She tapped it. Incoming transmission. Oh no. She opened it. A council representative appeared, a large, slug-like being wearing a tie. Greetings, it said. You are suspected of illegal bonding during unregistered heat. We filed retroactive consent, Zara replied. Confirmed, it said. However, footage of your ritual has gone viral. Over 2.3 billion interspecies views. I choked. Footage? Standard heat chambers have passive sensors, it replied. Your session has been categorized under Accidental Hero, Human Edition. You are now trending. I buried my face in my hands. I didn't even brush my hair. You moaned during the pulse sync, it added. Very authentic. The council is impressed. Zara looked proud. He's naturally expressive. The slug cleared its throat. As a result, your bond has been fast-tracked. You now qualify for Tier Alpha partner privileges. What does that mean? I asked weakly. Free intergalactic travel, priority heat clearance, and eligibility for selective crossbreeding programs. I stared. Crossbreeding? I haven't even been on a second date. Your DNA is in high demand, it continued. We project over 900 applications by next rotation. Applications for what? I asked slowly. Shared mating rights. I stood. No. No more bonding. No more syncing. No more rituals that sound like workout plans from a cult. The slug nodded. Understood. You may opt for celibate fame. You'll still be licensed as a passive icon. Zara's glow brightened. That's rare. Many dream of passive icon status. I dream of naps, I said. And normal showers. And silence. The slug vanished. Zara looked at me, softly amused. You're overwhelmed. You think? She reached over, brushing my hand. I can deactivate the bond. That caught me off guard. You can? She nodded. But I won't. Unless you ask me to. I sat down again. What happens if I don't? We stay linked, she said. Not permanently. But long enough to finish the snacks and maybe talk. I sighed. Fine. But no more glowing. No more sinking. And definitely no glands. Deal, she said, resting her head on my shoulder. For now. We stayed like that, oddly calm. A guy in his alien heat hazard, sitting in a fake bonding chamber, watching interstellar flames. Then my phone buzzed. New message, congratulations, Snack Seeker. You have been nominated for Galactic Mate of the Month. I looked up at the ceiling. Why? Zara smiled. Because you showed restraint. That's sexy. I laughed. That's not sexy. That's survival. Another buzz. Additional message: you have been requested to mentor new human participants in bonding regulation. Nope, I said. Absolutely not. She squeezed my hand. Just one? I sighed again. Only if there's popcorn. Always popcorn. And with that, I leaned back and accepted my fate. Snack seeker. Reluctant legend. Intergalactic cuddle coach. Perfect.